everybody, my name is Hope and welcome back to my channel. I like musicals, they're a big part of my life, and today we're going to be talking about why Riverdale needs to stop. Now, Riverdale is a show aimed at young teens, people aged like 11 to like 15 maybe, and I've watched some of it. I watched the first series and I enjoyed the first series, but I didn't go on to watch any more of it, and once series 2 came out, everyone wanted it to stop. They were like, that's enough, probably should have stuck to one series. We're on series 5 now, so you can probably guess the kind of quality thing we're going for. But we're not here to just talk about Riverdale on its own, we're actually here to talk about its musical episode, specifically the one that's coming out probably in a couple of weeks from now. But before we do that, you can follow me on my social medias. You can find me at XHopeWilsonX on Instagram, HopeWilson45 on TikTok, and Hope Wilson with 2 N's and an underscore on Twitter. Almost forgot my own social media then. I don't always look active, promise you I am. I'm very active on my TikTok, so go check that out. I'm doing a musical theatre series if you're interested. Also, if you like musical content, anything like that, this is a good place for you to be. Just thought I would mention that. But without further ado, let's get into it. So when series 2 came out, when everyone kind of wanted it to stop, they introduced something new into the Riverdale universe, which was the musical episode. So every season since season 2, we've had a musical episode. So series 2 was Carrie, series 3 was Heather's, series 4 was Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and series 5 is going to be Next to Normal. Now I think shows like Heather's and Carrie make sense because they kind of tie in to the themes of Riverdale and the kind of tone that they're going for. But there are a lot of reasons why I don't like it. So number one, they kind of just pick and choose songs and then say it's going to be a school musical but then just toss things in where they fit. Number two, some of the choreography and the lyric changes, just no. And number 3, I don't think it gives a great representation of what musical theatre is and why you should listen to it. And that's just kind of the beginning. This is just for a kind of a little bit of context on kind of how ridiculous it is. The musical episode is usually geared toward the end of the series. I think in this case, with the Next to Normal episode, it's going to be like the 3rd to last or 2nd to last episode in the series. So it's kind of an important place plot-wise, even though from what I've heard and seen, not a lot of stuff plot-wise actually goes on in its episodes. So in every musical episode, I'll say every, but I mean most, there has been something that's happened, and I think they get increasingly more ridiculous, so I'm just going to list them off for you. In the Carrie episode, it ended in a murder of a student. In the Heather's episode, it ended in the reveal of a cult leader. And in Hedwig, something probably lame happened in comparison. I couldn't find anything about it and I'm not going to go watch it, so yeah, a bit strange. But the Next to Normal episode is set to come out on the 29th of September 2021, and I have a lot of problems with it, and here's why. So Next to Normal is a musical about a bipolar mother who struggles with grief and family issues and mental illness, and so I don't think this is the best musical to pick. Other shows like Heather's especially, I think, while dark in theme, have a lot of lighter tones and comedic moments, and as a whole the show feels lighter and less heavy. Next to Nothing is quite deep and it's not what you would call a fun musical to go and watch. It's very, very different. It is good though. Also, how are they going to fit this into like the school musical theme that they kind of used for some of them? Like the obvious choice for who this is going to be is Betty's mom, Alice. I want to say Alice, I think that's her name, I don't know. But she's a mother and not a student, and as far as I'm aware doesn't work at the school. So how are they going to fit it all in? I genuinely don't know. Additionally, because there's a lot of additional things going on here, just for context on what's going on right now, Alice thinks her daughter Polly, she has 2 daughters, I think, Betty and Polly. She thinks Polly has been kidnapped and murdered, with her and Betty trying to figure out her daughter's killer or whatever. Jughead is an alcoholic, and I'm not saying young people can't have alcoholic problems, but you know. And Archie has PTSD from his time in the war, apparently. Why was he at war anyway? Like, I swear all the characters in Riverdale are young adult or like high school kids for at least least up until series 3, which would make them like max 20, 21 years old. Like, how has all this happened in the space of 3 years? Murders, cult leaders, war. I think someone went to jail at some point and they sang outside the jail. Something like a Gargoyle King. I genuinely don't know. So that's just kind of the vibe we're working with here. But I think the thing that I'm most afraid of is that there's gonna be a lot of miscommunication and misinterpretation of what it's trying to go for. Neither Alice or Betty have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder explicitly, so it already sets up for it showing bipolar wrong and like completely out of place, kind of making it a bit of a joke. As well as feeling like because it's tailored to a younger audience, they're gonna think that adding mental illness to every single character and adding flaws which are more linked to societal problems makes it edgier and therefore better. I just don't want Riverdale to start singing about these things and then just ignoring the original material. I think why Carrie and all these other shows kind of work better is because nothing is ever explicitly said, and while all the shows, well, less Hedwig, but definitely Carrie and Heather's, while they're dark and people, do die in these shows, it's never because of someone's personal problems. I guess you could say that both Carrie and JD, spoilers ahead I guess, killed because of their personal problems, but that had nothing to do with like the outside of their life. Whereas I think that even though no one technically dies in Next to Normal, all her problems are rooted in her mental illness, and pretty much, I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but I just don't want it to be like they're totally focusing on the mental illness and how that's such a huge part of the story when they haven't actually said that these characters have the mental illness or anything like that, and are just kind of using it as a plot point to move the story forward, because I feel like that's just gonna completely turn it on its head and it's just gonna go the complete opposite way than it needs to. I just think overall, as like a rounding off statement, that Riverdale just kind of needs to stop where it is. I know people have been saying that this series should have ended ages ago, but if it makes money and people watch it, they're gonna keep making it. I just think that they should have stopped at Heather's. I think after that, it becomes a trope that they have to do it, but then at the same time, they run out of shows that kind of fit the theme. While Next to Normal does sort of fit the theme of their kind of tone, it's completely out of their depth from audience to material to just anything like that. And so I think using the songs, it's just not gonna work. It's just gonna be confusing, and I just think it's gonna go wrong. Riverdale just need to stop their musical episodes. Not because they're bad, because I haven't seen them, and what I have seen I don't think I should comment on, but just because I think it could endanger younger people. So that is it for this episode. I feel like everyone has a kind of opinion on Riverdale, but if you want to voice your opinion down in the comments below, that is very okay with me. I'd be interested to read it. You can follow me at all my social medias that are here if you would like to. Like this video if you like it, subscribe if you feel like it. Keep enjoying musicals as much as me, and I will see you in the next one.